I spend an awful lot of my day seeking ways to be uncomfortable, but I want to be compensated for my discomfort. You should feel uncomfortable for most of the day, but just make sure that we're well compensated, that we're doing that with purpose, that some of our end goals are met or exceeded in the midterm, long term.
We were always working, always trying to get better. I was in a real interesting time where you had to learn all the time. If you weren't working on learning, someone would pass you up. The person that started out, it was all about I'm a wrestler, I'm a this, and they're showing their style's the best, and then we figured out that no, that doesn't work that way. It's all the combination of styles is the best.
If you don't have $1 million yet, you're living a much lesser life than what could be easily available to you with the right guidance. My head coach has freed up a few spots in his calendar to hold one-on-one strategy calls with the highest quality applicants. If you're doing well already and you're looking to accelerate your momentum and do even better, click the link in the description now and apply for your strategy session. More at the end of this video.
You're supposed to be uncomfortable. Like a good man is not supposed to be seeking comfort over growth, or is by definition wouldn't be much of a good man if you're always seeking comfort over growth. You're not going to be very useful in the world, And to grow and learn new things, you're going to have to do things that by definition you haven't been doing, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Well, there's gradients of uncomfortable, but there's psychological uncomfortable from academic things that you and I and many others here did, and there's a different type of uncomfortable. Chuck has his shoulder on your chin for hours a day. That's a different uncomfortable. You might prefer one over the other for a period of time, but pussies stay comfortable. I try to say it a nicer way, but pussies stay really comfortable, and that's why they're pussies, and that's why they're poor. That's why they're dumb, and couldn't even defend their selves, their family in a dire situation. So nobody here wants to live that sort of life. So, it's okay to be uncomfortable. And, I would say I spend an awful lot of my day seeking ways to be uncomfortable, but I want to be compensated for my discomfort. So if you just want to do miserable things without, any benefit, that might be a psychological benefit, that might be a relational benefit, it might be, financial, whatever it is, or, developing a new skill set, but it's fine to feel, you should feel uncomfortable for most of the day, but just make sure that we're well compensated, that we're doing that with purpose, that some of our end goals are met or exceeded in the midterm, long term. I just think it's a pretty good lifestyle to do that. And you hear me say this excessively maybe, but if you're the only way to get ahead in the world, the only way to stand out significantly is you're going to have to be smarter and or harder working than the other men. So you're going to have to do things that they're either too stupid to do or too soft and unwilling to do because it's uncomfortable. And ideally you'd like to be both. There's no reason that you and I can't be significantly smarter and significantly harder working, and the synergies there make it awfully hard for somebody to catch up. That even if they wanted to work just as hard, but they were 2 years behind, there's kind of an exponential growth there that makes it awfully hard for they can't catch up. They can't, even if they did the same shit but started later. They have to wait for you to die. They have to hope that you're older, wait for you to die. So, you ever been uncomfortable, Chuck? You spend your whole life in comfort.
Quite a bit. Yeah, always uncomfortable. I mean, and I've always said hard work was a big thing about what I did. Getting good and putting in time. And like he's saying, we were always working, always trying to get better, always trying to, it wasn't a growing sport. We're always trying to evolve and learn the new ways to do things, the new training, the new way to mix things together. So I was in a real interesting time where you had to learn all the time. If you weren't working on learning, someone would pass you up and you're gone. You saw a lot of the person that started out, it was all about I'm a wrestler, I'm a this, and they're showing their style's the best, and then we figured out that no, that doesn't work that way. It's all the combination of styles is the best. Yeah. It's the way that you have to keep. So, but like he was saying, they won't be able to catch you. They start 2 years later, unless you try to take some time off. Mm-hmm. Then the people can catch up to you. But Yeah, I just always growing, always learning, always working.
I think 5-time champion. Yeah, 5-time champion. Won his belt, defended his belt, several times, and I mean, you were I mean, you're still such a recognizable person. You're an icon of that whole sport, and even at the time that you were fighting, man, you really have a target on your back that everybody's trying to study your tape and, what is he doing? How is he doing it? Et cetera, et cetera. How is he training? And that's the nature of what they do. So you have people trying to study you precisely and study your movements and, behavioral patterns. And, Chuck defended his belt, I believe, more than anybody at that time. I'm not an MMA historian, but I think you had the most title defenses at that time, I think.
Matt Hughes was ahead of me at the time.
Was he?
Matt Hughes.
I understand. Well, forget about Matt Hughes, but Matt Hughes was a great guy too. Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. It's not comfortable. So everybody wants to party with the champ. Everybody wants to, I mean, he would have had the best and coolest opportunities in the world to go party and do all kinds of shit. And probably did some of those things, but he also showed up at the gym. Everybody that I know that knows him for a long time, like Jake, like Glover, I say, yeah, Chuck was always in the gym in the morning and ready to go. Never complain, work hard. So everybody wanted to have results like Chuck, but nobody wanted to work like Chuck. And that's really the reputation he has against some of his opponents that he beat, and also his training partners from that time and people he was coaching and mentoring. So Forrest is another guy that said things like that about you. So everybody wants to have results like Chuck, but nobody wants to work like Chuck. So he put in an awful lot of work and spent an awful lot of time uncomfortable, I'm sure. And that's what it takes to be best in the world at something and keep that spot is it's amazing, but it's not easy.
Well, I do. I mean, I love my sport. I love what I did. But a lot of things I did to get prepared the way I should, I didn't like very much at all. I did that because it was necessary to do good, to win, to succeed. So, but yeah, I enjoyed. I love. There's people ask me all the time, what don't you miss about fighting? I said, there's nothing. I missed cutting weight. I miss, because I knew right after I was done, I was going to get a fight. I missed every part of it. So, I understand that. That's.
At my current point in life, I don't have to do shit that I don't want to do, and that feels pretty great. I did plenty of things that were, I didn't enjoy it at the time, but I knew that's the thing that was necessary to get me to the results that I wanted. So I did plenty of financial things that way. Your first year in MMA training is just humiliating, and I never went to a normal gym. I've never gone to a normal MMA class once, still. So I just got beat up by, Chuck and a bunch of other people. When he came over the first time, I don't know if I've ever said this to him, but the first time he came to train with me, I was out too late. I think he landed about noon on a Sunday. And I went to UFC fights the day before in Ohio, and then drove from Ohio to Illinois, in the middle of the night, to be there to be on time to pick him up from the airport. So I slept, I don't think I slept 3 hours total. I probably had 5 drinks the day before, which was a terrible idea if you're not going to sleep. If I would have went to sleep like normal, and I would have woke up fine and everything's fine. But if I had 5 alcohol drinks the day before at the fights, over like 7 hours or something. So I wasn't drunk, but that didn't help anything. And then I go pick Chuck up and say, all right, time to train, And I don't know if I said anything about it at the time, but I was not in a great spot, and I've been training for 4 months, and yeah, Chuck's he's a good man, a lot of nice things about him, but he's not a gentleman. And I had bruises for about 12 days. I think after the second day we were training, I couldn't stand up. In the middle of the night, I went to the bathroom, and I couldn't stand up all the way. I was kind of holding my back, and my hip and back didn't want to work quite right. And I was kind of like, wobbling and limping to the bathroom and just trying to get my spine to work again. And I didn't cry baby about any of that shit. I just, we went and trained the third day too, and I had bruises for about 12 days. And I thought to myself, what the f are you doing? I was never mad at Chuck, but I asked myself, I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you do this to yourself? What the f is you don't have to do this shit. You're not going to get paid for this. You don't have to do this shit. What is wrong with you? And that was that was a very important moment for me, that I had to decide to like stop and give up. It was one of those moments where I was just like, why are you doing this, or why do you want to do this? Like, and I thought, well, you kind of one thought I had is like, well, you get to train with, some of the best. If you're gonna get beat up by somebody, there's better to get beat up by Chuck than some random dude at a bar. That's not a very fun story. And then I also thought there's plenty of guys got a black belt in jiu-jitsu or that are talented MMA fighters that are dumber than me, and they have a shittier work ethic than I do. So I just thought if I made that a priority, there's no reason that I wouldn't have a black belt in a few years, and there's no reason I wouldn't have the striking skills on par with it. If I don't give up, it'd be the natural consequence of just making continuous progress. So that was an important decision, and I never had another crybaby moment after that. And that was a crybaby moment with myself. I don't recall, being a bitch and telling him much about it at the time. But that was, I never had a crybaby moment in my own head after that. I just made a decision, like, well, I'm just going to go do this. And that's a big thing that's very important for you folks. If you're going to struggle through something, or feel physical pain and psychological pain, and some embarrassment is a subcomponent to that psychological pain, you have to make a decision. Why am I doing this? Do I want to do this? And it might just be because I want to, but you have to make a commitment somewhere in your own head that nobody else in the world necessarily needs to know about that. But when you make a commitment that hey, I'm going to do this thing. And then you follow through with that, it takes away a lot of the sting of that. Be like, all right, part of the process. Today was rough. Part of the process. I'm still going to do the thing. And I think making those commitments to yourself are important. That because you're going to have plenty of tough moments where softer people would give up. And if you care about the result, or if you want to earn a particular skill set or a particular outcome in life, you have to make those commitments and follow through on it. And that's the boring stuff, is where all the results come from, is just showing up when you don't feel like it. And I built a pretty damn good accountability mechanism that, about 19 days a month, I have some, world champion. A lot of them are in the Hall of Fame, are going to be some world champions waiting for me. About noon, we're going to go eat some meat and then go train together. It's kind of our routine, And there's never been a single day where I say, oh, hey, this thing came up. I got a little headache, Chuck. What would you even say? So, Chuck, I got a little headache. I don't really feel like it today. And he flew across the country to come stay with me and help me. Like, what would you even say?
I don't know what I'd say.
You should. There should be the response. It should be like at least a firm slap. So what's wrong with you?
Okay,
let's go.
Sure. Okay, whatever. Let's go.
Yeah.
What?
You probably think I was joking.
I would.
Yeah, good. Because it's not even a funny joke. I wouldn't even say it as a joke. It's like, we got shit to do. We're going to go do it. So that's a pretty good accountability mechanism. It's like, I don't get to skip a day of training, because the best people in the world are over there sequentially helping me out. And who wants to f that up? It'd be too embarrassing to myself to ever think about that. It wouldn't matter what happened or how I feel. I got shit to do. So, just there's a lot worse things in the world than some discomfort or, to Phil's point, if you control the environment, all right, cool. So I get to set the temperature in the place that I get choked. I get to, there's no music there because I don't want to listen to music. So we don't listen to music. I get to set the temperature, but I still got to go lift the weights and do the reps, and I still got to show up in the training room and feel your spine gets contorted in peculiar ways, and your whole body gets contorted in peculiar ways. Something hurts all the time. And that's just part of it. You just get used to that. None of these guys complain. Like, many world champions that complain much about anything?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, John says, hey, Chuck says he's hurt, call the ambulance.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm all right, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps to control the environment that you tolerate the abuse in. Makes it a little easier. Yes, sir.
There's been results that you've achieved that you were unhappy with. What have you done to improve on those, and what are some of the things in the future you want to improve on, because you both achieved massive amounts of things? What are some of those things that you're also looking at to improve further?
I need a black belt and $300 million, and I'd like to do that before I'm 50. So, and my birthday's in a couple months. I'll be 45. So the black belt's easy from where I'm at, and I don't say that with any disrespect, but from where I'm at right now and my current skill set plus the momentum I have, everything's in place that if I don't die, and I'll have that in a year and a half or so. The money. Thank you. The money part, I just need the right timing and the macro economy and a couple things to go my way. That'll take care of itself. So there's a couple things that are top of mind in the next few years. I have more control over the black belt than I have about the economy, but I'll put myself in the right positions to get the money too, and then we'll multiply that, and then we'll multiply that. So, I kind of said this to Phil's question. It's like, the hard stuff already happened as far as those type of goals. Like, already, your first year is awful. And I suspect from brown belt to black belt, it's going to be a lot easier than from white belt to blue belt. I suspect that's a lot easier. You already have the habits, and you're already toughened up, and you already have momentum, and you know what you're doing, and your defense is great, and everything's good. It's no problem. That shit's fun. Starting a new thing is what sucks. So I don't have to do things I don't want to do anymore. And I think environmentally, touching on Phil's point again, is like, I cared enough about it. I spent about $4 million on, property and gym equipment and remodeling to buy multiple properties and destroy them and rebuild them to make the facilities that I did. I just got to show up and do the work, So it'd be disgusting to build those resources and then not utilize them. So it's easy now, but I had to do a lot of uncomfortable things, or a lot of, shit that it wasn't fun for me, as a teenager or in my 20s to create the momentum to put myself in those financial situations as well, But now it's easy, just show up. Oh, like what a joy it is. Like, think about the last 3 days for you guys. Like, this is how I spend a lot of my days. It's like I wake up and lift weights. What do we do when you come over?
Wake up, eat, lift weights, eat some more, and work out.
Then eat some more. Yep. So then we get sleep good and go do it again. Going to wake up and lift weights again and eat good food. Eat steaks and seafood and whatever meats we want that day. Can eat meat, work out, have a snack, take a shower, go MMA training. Have a nice meal afterwards, take another shower, go to sleep, do it again. That's pretty great. It's a pretty cool life. No, I have phone. I have a lot of. You people know enough about my life. There's plenty of other things that I have to do in that time of dealing with phone call or text message or whatever's coming up during the day. That's life. That's life. But you get to do it in a pretty great environment and around great people. So. It's a privilege to do that. It seems silly to complain about it at all,
Well, fighting is always a constant evolution. So you look back when you get bad results, you try to look back and figure out okay, I could have done this better. This is what I need. I need to work on something here. I need to pick that. You try to fix, look at what you have, and then I let it go. Then I just go work towards it again. And get back on the drawing board, just get going again. Try not to dwell. I try to dwell in the past. You mess up. You can only do so many things. You just can't let it beat you up. But yeah, and now going forward, I'm at the point where I retired. I'm not doing sports. I'm just kind of shifting into doing other things. For doing business and also trying to get I'm raising kids. My kids are in the house. I want them to see me working hard. They don't want to see retired dad. I want to see working hard dad. So it's a good example. Kids watch what you're doing. If I'm just kicking back they're not going to get the right example if I'm just kicking back doing resting on what I did in the past.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.